what's the best way to get your attention?
Advice that I give to players going through the recruiting process: in your subject line, find something that makes you unique. And every player is a little bit, when I see an email that says 6'4" striker, okay, I'm curious to see more. When I see an email that says 4.0 GPA, that helps me know the type of person and academic you are, because that's the environment we're in. If I see an email that says high budget, these are things that stand out. It's what separates you from the crowd, and it allows me to see what you can offer to make yourself more competitive than another player. So those are three examples. But if you come from a very high level club or league, include that. We are pretty thorough. I would say we open every email that comes. We will watch anywhere from the first 60 seconds to 120 seconds of a highlight video. But I need to see a player's best stuff in that first minute. If I see you're a midfielder and in the first minute of your highlight video, you're making 5 and 10 yard passes, so can everyone else. So when I open a highlight video, my recommendation is have that profile of all your information, but have your absolute best stuff that excites me in that first minute to keep us watching. And that's the reality of 1,000 videos in the span of 3 months. And oftentimes, if there's something that catches our attention or we see that bit of potential, we invite them to come to our ID camp so we can see them in person and really get to know their personality as a player.
What are like the key points maybe after in order to not just get the interest, but bring it over the line?
Yeah. This is very much a case by case situation, case by case question. I would say for some players, we can see right away that they have been in a very competitive or a very good environment. So maybe it's less about their ability and more about their personality or their fit or their understanding of, will they really be the guy for our position and our need and our style. For some players, it's wow, amazing person and personality and just so easy to talk to and relatable, but we need to see more from him. So we want to see a full game, and we'll watch 30 minutes of the game or 60 minutes of the game. So there's, I would say, a range of responses to what gets a player over the lines for us. But ultimately, we are looking for the full package. We're looking for a good footballer. We're looking for a good academic, and we're looking for a good person. Because if any of those three pillars breaks down, then it's going to be a frustrating time for them and a difficult time for us as a coaching staff to really support them in becoming the best that they can.
Because you've been around the game for such a long time. How do you use your personal connection
Yeah.
in that process?
I rarely take a player without talking to their coach first. And I would say, if it's not me, my assistants, I am the first to say it takes an entire staff. So I have a great staff of assistant coaches, volunteer coaches that are willing to go the extra mile, talk with players, coaches, get good recommendations, not just about their playing level, but the person that they are. And you're going to hear that comment or that thread over and over again. We spend so much time together, eating, traveling, training, studying, that we want to enjoy the time that we are with each other. And so I would think for us, a part of the process is talking to coaches, talking to guys that played with them or played against them, allowing us to gather as many data points along the way of the recruits and the recruiting process.
What are the three biggest mistakes that pretty much throws you off
Yeah.
immediately?
I would say, first off, for me, the communication, I would just say that general communication, just being professional. Players that send an email with, like, it's a text message, "Hey, what's up, coach? I'd love to earn a spot on the team." Okay. So would the other 1,000 as well. But please take the time to, "Dear Coach Martirena," like, those little details show that you are serious, shows that you're professional. Because if you're going to communicate to me that way, how are you going to communicate to a professor? Or how are you going to, that's an aspect for me. I think there's common times where players mean, but they forget. "Dear Coach Martirena, I'd love to come to PVA." And then in the next line, it's copied and pasted from another. "I would love to be shark. That was from another coach. And I saw you at this. That wasn't me. That was another coach. So players just, recruits need to take the time and make sure that they're updating and don't have those big mistakes in terms of copying and pasting. For me, the sort of the, I'm going to use the word disrespect, but it's not the best word. But when a player comes in and he has the ego and the air that he's bigger than the program, that for me is a problem. I am a very hardworking coach and I have a very hardworking mentality towards the team. When a player comes in with that air or confidence that they're bigger than the team or the way that they look is more important than the way that they play, those are little things for me that just show the mentality is not matured enough. Of course, there are exceptions, but in general. The other thing for me is just players that aren't really informed, that they say, oh, I only want to go D1. That's fine. I support you in that endeavor, but there are equally competitive programs. And so for me, players that aren't educated in the college system, they will say something that is assumptive or say something that is just not informed, that they don't really, maybe they've never watched a college game. Maybe they never attended a college practice or communicated. So they put themselves in a situation where now they really don't know. Sometimes they don't know what they need to know. So the communication, the over confidence and the arrogance and the uneducated aspect, those are three sort of things that I see as red flags in the recruiting process.